I never thought I'd cheer for a man getting curb-stomped in the company parking lot. But there I was, handing him the tire iron myself. The blood on his knuckles wasn't his, it was the CEO's, splattered like abstract art on the asphalt of our Silicon Valley empire. And as the sirens wailed closer, he looked at me with eyes that said, "You get it now. Kid, betrayal isn't a word, it's a blade you twist slow. They say the first cut is the deepest. But in my line of work, it's the backstab that leaves you bleeding out in a boardroom." My name's Alex Harlan, 28 years old, and I'd clawed my way up the ladder at Nexus Tech faster than most, trading sleep for stock options and weekends for whiskey neat. It was the kind of grind that made you feel alive until it made you realize the view from the top was just a prettier way to fall. Nexus Tech was the darling of the valley, a beast of an AI firm that promised to revolutionize everything from healthcare to hiring. Our campus in Palo Alto sprawled like a tech utopia, glass walls that whispered transparency, koi ponds for Zen breaks, and a cafeteria slinging acai bowls at prices that could fund a startup. But beneath the ping-pong tables and free kombucha, it was a viper pit. Deals got inked on napkins soaked in lies. And loyalty? That was for suckers like me. It started on a Tuesday, the kind of bone-dry California morning where the fog clings to your skin like regret. I'd been pulling 80-hour weeks on Project Echelon, our flagship algorithm that could predict employee burnout before it happened. Ironic, right? My boss, Victoria Lang, VP of Operations, had handpicked me for it. She was the queen bee, mid-40s, sharp bob haircut, like a guillotine, always in those power suits that screamed, "I eat interns for breakfast." She'd mentored me since day one. Or so I thought, late-night emails with emojis that felt like winks, pats on the back that lingered just a second too long. "You're my golden boy, Alex," she'd say, her voice like honey over gravel. I ate it up. Who wouldn't? In a place where your worth was measured in KPIs. Her approval was oxygen. That's when he showed up. Harlan, wait. No. Not my Harlan. The intern. Frank Harlan. Yeah. Same last name. But I'd never heard of him. 50 years old, if he was a day. Shuffling into the open-plan office with a faded lanyard around his neck that read, "Intern, orientation pending." He was built like a retired linebacker gone soft, broad shoulders under a ill-fitting polo shirt from Target, khakis that bagged at the knees, and salt and pepper hair combed over a bald spot like he was hiding state secrets. His eyes, though steel gray, unblinking, the kind that made you check your six. The laughter started before he even sat down. It was during the morning stand-up, that ritual circle jerk where we pretended to sync on wins. Victoria was leading, her tablet glowing like a halo, when HR pushed him forward. "Team, meet Frank. He's joining us for a 6-month internship through our second act program. Fresh perspectives from seasoned pros." Right? The room tittered. Mark from engineering, that smug prick with the man bun, leaned over to me. "Seasoned? Guy looks like he should be changing my oil, not debugging code." I chuckled, nerves. Mostly. Guilt. Too. I'd been that eager kid once. Laughed at for my thrift store ties. Frank just stood there, hands clasped like he was at a funeral, and nodded. "Pleasure to be here. Eager to learn." His voice was gravelly. East Coast accent, Boston. Maybe. With that flat vowel bite. No one clapped. Someone, probably Jess from marketing, whispered loud enough for the back row. "What? Did AARP start a coding boot camp?" The snickers rippled out like a bad meme. Victoria shot her a look, but it was half-hearted, her lips twitching like she was fighting a smile. All right, Frank, you'll shadow Alex here in ops. Dive right in.
Me?
Shadow? I was buried under echelon deadlines, but I nodded like a good soldier. As the meeting broke, I caught Frank's eye. He winked quick, almost imperceptible. It landed like a hook in my gut. Who winks at humiliation? By lunch, the office had a nickname for him, Grandpa Intern. The break room was ground zero. I grabbed my turkey wrap from the fridge, labeled Alex, touch and die, and there he was, fumbling with the Keurig like it was a Rubik's Cube. A gaggle of devs clustered around. Phones out. Live tweeting the spectacle. Alert, Fossil versus Future. Nexus fail, one posted. Another handed him a mug with one grandpa scrawled in Sharpie. Frank took it, poured his coffee black as sin, and sipped without spilling. Thanks, son. Hits the spot. They howled. Poured half a Red Bull into his cup for extra pep. He drank that too, straight-faced. I hovered by the door, torn between intervening and vanishing. Hey, Frank, I said finally, voice cracking like a teenager's. Ops floors this way. Got some data entry for you. He followed, mug in hand, ignoring the catcalls. In the elevator, alone, he leaned in. You Harlan too?
Yeah.
Family from back east, but distant.
Lie.
My folks were nobodies from Fresno, dad a mechanic, mom a waitress. Died in a pileup when I was 16. No famous kin. He nodded, like he knew. World small. Alex. Smaller than you think. The doors dinged open. And he was all business again, eager beaver mode. Asking about spreadsheets, like he'd never seen Excel. I assigned him the grunt work, sorting vendor invoices from 22. The kind of tedium that made newbies weep. He dove in, fingers flying over the keys with a precision that didn't match his fumbling act. By 3 p.m., he'd flagged 3 discrepancies, overcharges on cloud storage that I'd missed. Just a hunch, he muttered, sliding the printout over. I stared. How'd you? Old habits. He shrugged, but his eyes flicked to the window, out toward the CEO's glass area on the top floor. Richard Voss, our fearless leader. The man who'd built Nexus from a garage hackathon to a $2 billion valuation. Charismatic bastard, always in GQ, preaching disrupt or die at all hands. Rumors swirled about him, shady acquisitions, NDA-shrouded firings, but nothing stuck.
Teflon.
That night, I stayed late, nursing a beer from the mini-fridge while Echelon churned data. Victoria texted, "Great job today. Golden boy. Drinks Friday?" XO, I grinned, thumbs hovering. Then Frank's desk caught my eye. He'd left his drawer cracked, careless. Or bait. Inside, under a stack of posts, a yellowed photo. Grainy. 90s vibe, a younger Frank.
Suit sharp as a switchblade.
Arm around a beaming Richard Voss. Back of the print. Nexus launch. Partners forever. 98. Partners? My stomach twisted. Nexus started in 98. Yeah, Voss's origin story was legend. Bootstrapped with a college buddy. But the buddy? Never mentioned. I pocketed the photo. Heart hammering. What the hell was this? Wednesday blurred into audits and ass-kissing. Frank kept low, but the jabs escalated. During the team lunch, cater tacos from some overhyped truck, Mark accidentally knocked Frank's plate into his lap. Guac smeared his khakis like war paint. Laughter exploded.
Phones flashing.
Victoria, at the head table, raised her glass to fresh starts, even if they're a little seasoned. The room toasted, but her eyes met mine warning, amusement. Frank wiped himself with a napkin, chuckling along. Story of my life. Spills happen. I escorted him to the restroom, muttering apologies. He waved it off. Water under the bridge.
Kid.
Scene worse. In the harsh fluorescent light, I saw scars on his knuckles, old, deliberate, like from a ring. Boxer? Brawler? That photo, I whispered, pulling it from my pocket. Voss. You knew him. His face didn't change, but the air thickened. Knew him? Hell, I built him. He washed his hands slow, methodical. But that's ancient history. Focus on the now. Alex. Echelon's got bugs, real ones. Not the code kind. Bugs? I laughed it off, nerves jangling. But back at my desk, I couldn't shake it. Pulled up old SEC filings on Nexus's incorporation. There it was, buried in the boilerplate. Founders, Richard Voss and Francis Harlan. Francis.
Frank.
Original co-founder. Cashed out in '02 after creative differences. No details.
Just gone.
By quitting time, the office buzzed with after-work plans, happy hour at the bungalow. That overpriced dive where deals died drunk. Victoria cornered me by the copier. Intern's a joke.
Huh?
But play nice, optics. Her perfume was cloying, like victory. Friday's still on? Yeah, I said. Mind elsewhere. As she sauntered off, Frank passed, carrying a box of shredded docs. Our eyes locked. He mouthed one word, watch. I didn't sleep that night. Dreams of boardrooms turning to courtrooms. Voss's smile cracking like porcelain. By morning, the hook was set. I was in whether I wanted it or not. Digging into Frank Harlan felt like peeling an onion in a windstorm, layers of tears and bullshit flying everywhere. I started small, the way any paranoid valley drone would, LinkedIn stalking at 2 a.m., fueled by cold pizza and the kind of insomnia that comes from realizing your hero's a fraud. Frank's profile was a ghost town, last update 2003. Entrepreneur at large. No photo. No endorsements. But the connections? A spiderweb of ghosts, ex-Nexus execs long since poached by Google or buried in startups that tanked. One name jumped, Elena Voss. Richard's ex-wife. Divorced in '05. Acrimonious as hell, tabloid whispers of affairs and asset grabs. She'd posted a throwback once, Frank at their wedding. Best man. Grinning like he owned the joint. My coffee went cold as I cross-referenced. Frank hadn't just cashed out, he'd vanished. No arrests. No obits. But prison records? Those were public domain, if you knew where to VPN. And there it was. In California's sunny database of shame, Francis J. Harlan. Sentenced 2004 to 15 years for wire fraud and embezzlement. $12 million siphoned from Nexus's early VC round. Voss had testified, star witness, painting Frank as the snake in the garden. My partner betrayed not just me, but the dream we built.
Betrayed.
The word lodged in my throat like a fishbone. I'd trusted Victoria the same way, blind.
Hungry.
Was this what loyalty bought you? A cell in Folsom, Graying your temples while the world moved on? Thursday at the office. The hazing hit fever pitch. It was Casual Friday, which at Nexus meant hoodies with our logo and enough weed in the air to trigger the sensors. Frank showed in the same polo, now sporting a mystery stain from yesterday's guac. The devs had escalated, taped a caution, senior moment ahead signed to his back during the all-hands video call. Voss himself was on screen. From his Maui retreat, tanned, teeth like chiclets, ranting about Q4 projections. We're not just coding the future, we're owning it. The team hooped, Frank shifted. The sign crinkling. Someone, Jess, yanked it off mid-clap, revealing it to the camera. Laughter crackled over the feed. Even Voss paused, chuckling. Love the spirit. Team. Frank. Right? Keep that energy. Frank's face was stone. Will do, sir. Post-call. The break room ambush. Red Bull in his chair, fizzing like a prank bomb. He sat anyway, soaked through, and powered on his laptop like it was nothing. I slid in beside him, whispering, "You don't have to take this shit." His laugh was dry as dust. "Oh, I'm taking it, Alex." Every drop. He pulled up the invoice log I'd given him, now cross-referenced with public vendor bids. Flagged another $50,000 in kickbacks, routed through a shell in the Caymans. See this? Pattern from '03. Same as back then.
Back then.
The fraud. My pulse thrummed. Frank. The photo. The sentencing. What the hell happened? He closed the file, eyes scanning the room like a hawk. Victoria was across the floor, laughing with Mark, her hand on his arm, too familiar. Not here. After hours. Loading dock. 8 p.m. I nodded, gut churning. The day dragged, echelon simulations spitting errors I couldn't debug. Victoria's emails piling up with urgent in caps. By 7:55, I was at the dock. Chain link rattling in the Santa Ana wind. The valley's lights smearing like neon tears. Frank arrived pushing a dolly of server backups, official story for any night owls. He locked the gate, lit a cigarette with a Zippo that clinked like judgment. Smoke. Quit last year.
Lie.
I bummed one anyway. He exhaled slow, smoke curling toward the stars. 2003. Nexus was us, me and Rich. Garage in Menlo. Coding till dawn on dial-up. We hit gold with Echelon's precursor. Snagged $20 mill from Sequoia. Dream life. Then the pivot. AI for hiring. Big core lining up. But Rich. He wanted more. Faster. Cut corners.
Frank.
Who's gonna know? I leaned on a crate, the wood splintering under my palm. You did. Damn right. Refused to fudge the beta tests, ethics clause in our pact.
Kid stuff.
But sacred. So he flipped it. Planted code in my commits. Routed funds to my offshore from college days. Made it look like I was skimming for a side hustle. Board called an audit. Fed swarmed. Rich testified. Tears in court. He was family. Jury ate it up. 15 years. The Zippo snapped shut. But you said partners forever. Words on a photo. He flicked ash. Out in 18 on good behavior. Lost everything. Wife left. Kid disowned. House foreclosed. Rebuilt in shadows. Odd jobs. PI work. Then, I hear Nexus is IPO bound. Rich, a billionaire. Same dirty tricks, kickbacks, fudged data. Echelon 2.0, it's poisoning hires. Blacklisting minorities on bias algorithms they buried in the fine print. Ruining lives like mine. My mind reeled. Echelon wasn't burnout prediction. It was Voss's Frankenstein. Profiling candidates with hidden biases, age, race, coded in shadows. I debugged the flags. But Victoria waved them off. Client specs. Alex. Don't overthink. Had I signed off on this poison? Why Intern? I asked. Why not sue? Whistleblow. He grinned. Wolfish. Sue? NDA's thicker than my skull. Whistle? They'd bury me deeper. No, this way. I'm invisible. Learning the guts. Planting seeds. By month 6, I got enough to torch it all.
SSC? Theoj.
Front page Times.
Seeds.
The word hung heavy. And me? Why tell me? You're Harlan blood.
Distant or not?
And he paused, studying me like code. Victoria. She's rich as mole. In your ear, in your bed soon enough. Watch your 6. The cigarette burned to filter. I crushed mine under heel, the ember dying like trust. Back inside, the office glowed empty. Screensavers dancing ghosts. Victoria's desk light was on. Late email? I crept closer, heart in throat. Her drawer ajar, a flash drive labeled Echelon Overrides. Plugged it in on my machine. Password guess, her birthday. From a drunken happy hour slip. Files bloomed. Redacted reports. My name on falsified sign-offs for the bias code. I'd taken the fall, unknowingly.
But signed.
If it blew, I'd be the scapegoat. Rage boiled. Hot as the dock's asphalt. Betrayal. Twice over. Victoria's text pinged. Missed you at happy hour. Tomorrow? I deleted it. Fingers trembling. Frank was right. The game's rigged. Time to flip the board. Friday dawned bloody. Sunrise like a bruise over the hills. Office mood was electric. Voss back from Maui. All hands at noon with big news. Stock bumpers. Baby. I avoided Victoria's glances. Buried in Frank's logs. He shadowed quiet. But now I saw the act. The fumbles were feints. Buying time to snoop servers after hours. By lunch, he'd whispered another find. Voss's private ledger. Slush fund for consulting fees to politicians blocking AI regs. The all hands was theater, Voss on stage. Mic in hand, charisma dialed to 11.
Team.
We're not just winning, we're rewriting the rules. Slides flashed, echelon demos, fake testimonials. Frank sat front row, nodding like a bobblehead. Then the Q&A.
Jess.
Emboldened. Mic'd up, Mr. Voss. Any comment on the intern programs? Age diversity. Snickers. Voss leaned in. Avuncular. Frank, here's proof. Talent knows no expiration date. Give the man a hand. Polite claps. But as Voss droned, Frank's hand brushed mine under the table, a USB drive. Tiny as a promise. Upload tonight, he mouthed. My cloud. Password, betrayed 98. Post-meeting. The real show, happy hour ambush. Victoria pulled me aside in the lot, her BMW idling like a predator. You seem off, Alex. Everything good? Her eyes searched.
Sharp. Yeah.
Just echelon glitches. Lie tasted like bile. She smiled. Hand on my knee through the open door. Let me fix that. My place. 9. Wine. Unwind. The exo from texts. Now flesh. Part of me, the old me, wanted to say yes. Escape in her arms. Pretend the world's not rotting. But Frank's face flashed. Scarred knuckles. Stolen years. Rain check, I said. Door slamming. Her expression hurt. Calculation flickered as I walked away. That night, alone in my studio, overlooking the bay, I plugged the drive. Files poured. Emails. Wire transfers. Voss to Victoria. Keep the kid close. He's our firewall. She'd been grooming me as Patsy from Jump. Upload complete. I hit send to Frank's drop. Then, impulse, emailed my own copy to a burner at the Chronicle. Anonymous tip. Nexus Tech is dirty AI secret. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of chains and code unraveling. Saturday. The office was skeleton crew, diehards like me, tweaking decks. Frank wasn't scheduled, but there he was, in the server room, organizing cables. I joined. Door locked.
Done, I said.
What's next? Patience. Harlan blood. He straightened, wiping sweat. Monday. We leak a teaser. Watch em squirm. But Monday never came clean. Sunday night. My phone buzzed, unknown number. Voicemail. Victoria's voice. Ice cold. Alex. We need to talk.
Now.
Or that sign off on Echelon. It'll be the least of your problems. The blade twisted.
Game on.
You ever wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes before you hit China? I was knee-deep in Voss's digital sewer by Sunday midnight. Victoria's voicemail looping like a bad acid trip. Her tone wasn't pleading, it was executive, calm. The kind that precedes pink slips or worse. I paced my apartment, bay fog pressing against the windows like a shroud. The USB burning a hole in my pocket. Frank's drop confirmed receipt. Good work. Deny everything. F.
Deny.
Easy to say when you're not the one with falsified docs in your name. I fired back a text to the burner. She's on to me. What now? No reply. Clock ticked 1 a.m. Options bolt. Like the whistleblowers who ended up consulting in Reno, or double down. Play the loyal fool till the leak hit. Loyalty. Fuck that ghost. I crashed hard. Woke to rain lashing the panes, rare for the valley. Biblical. Drove to the office in a daze. Wipers slapping like accusations. Sunday shifts were for the obsessed, me. Cleaning Echelon's code for glitches that were really bias traps. Frank was there too. Uninvited. Hunched over a terminal in the corner. Heard the message? I hissed, dropping my bag. He didn't look up. Fingers dancing on keys. Old playbook. Isolate. Intimidate. Then, offer the carrot. Rich used it on me in '03. How'd you know? Her car's in the lot. Been tailing since Friday. He spun the monitor, CCTV feed. Hacked easy, our security was theater. Victoria's BMW. Parked crooked across 2 spots. Her silhouette pacing inside. Phone to ear. She's calling in favors. Voss is en route from the airport. My mouth dried. We leak now.
Soon.
First. Insurance. He slotted the USB. Pulled a file. Voss's black book. Names. Dates. Payoffs. Senators. Regulators. Even a judge from Frank's trial. This goes public. It's not just Nexus. It's the whole rotten tree. I scanned, there. Elena Voss's name. Crossed out with a note. Silenced 05. Chills spidered my arms. Silenced how? Frank's jaw tightened. Overdose. Pills. Official story. But she was digging, found my planted evidence was too clean. Rich's mess. Pinned on me. She threatened divorce with teeth. Murder? The word hung unspoken. This wasn't corporate espionage, it was a goddamn syndicate. And you? Why not run? Run where? Man's got nothing left to lose. His eyes met mine.
Hollow.
You? Though, you got a life. Girlfriend? Dog? Bail now. Alex. Plausible deniability. No girlfriend. Victoria was the closest. Poison ivy. No dog, allergies. Just the job. The illusion of a scent. I'm in. For the kid you lost. For the wife. For
Me.
the fall I'd take if I folded. He nodded.
Once.
Then gear up. Monday's war. Monday broke gray. Traffic snarling 101 like veins clogged with ambition. Office thrummed, Voss's jet lag energy infecting all hands prep. Whispers of the big announcement. Echelon partnership with the DoD. Billions in contracts. Patriotic AI. Screening recruits. Ironic. Given a biases. Victoria intercepted me at the elevator. Smile brittle as rice paper. Alex. Darling. Coffee. Her office. Corner perch. Views to die for. She poured from an espresso. Hand steady. Rough weekend. Peachy. I sipped.
Bitter.
She perched on the desk. Skirt hiking, distraction 101. Look. I know about the drive. The tips. My gut dropped. Don't play dumb. IT flagged your VPN last night. Child's play.
Busted.
Heart jackhammered. Victoria. Save it. She slid a folder across. My sign-offs. Highlighted. You're in deep. Golden boy. But I can fix it. Voss likes you, sees potential. Sign this recant. Blame a hack. We promote you. Ops director by end of year. The carrot. Sweet.
Poisoned.
And Frank. Her laugh tinkled.
False.
The fossil? He's a ghost. We make him disappear, quietly. You walk. He sinks. Disappear. Echo of Elena. I stood. Chair scraping. What's Voss really hiding, besides the payoffs? Eyes narrowed. Shark's leak. Ambition. Alex. The world's messy. We clean it. She leaned in. Breath minty. Choose. Us. Or the gutter. I chose the door. Us was always a lie. Her face cracked rage.
Raw.
You'll regret that. Harlan. The hall blurred. Frank at his desk. Shredding memos like confetti. She offered the deal?
Yeah. Passed. Good.
He slipped me a burner phone. Leaks live. Chronicle got the teaser at dawn, anonymous.
But sourced.
By lunch. Feds knocking.
Panic spiked.
Feds? We said SSU. Escalation. DoD deals tomorrow. Had to move. His calm unnerved me. Go home. Lay low. But home was a trap. By noon, my inbox exploded. Chronicle link. Nexus Tech's AI scandal, bias, bribery, and buried secrets. Teaser only, Voss's ledger redacted. Echelon code snippets. Stock dipped 5%.
Bored and meltdown.
Office evacuated for drill. Bullshit. Voss's security goons hurting us out. I slipped to the server room. Frank's terminal open. Message on screen. Extracting full dump. 80%. Then alarms, real ones. Sprinklers?
No.
Silent. Red lights pulsing. Lockdown. Footsteps. Voss himself. Flanked by 2 suits, private muscle. Ex-SEAL vibes. Harlan. Not my first name, the bloodline. Step away. Frank emerged from the shadows. Flash drive in hand.
Rich.
Long time. Voss's face, tanned mask slipping to pallor. Frankie. Should have stayed buried. Buried's for dogs. Frank tossed the drive. Voss caught it. Instinctive. That's everything. Elena's files, too. The real ones. Voss crushed it under heel. Shards glittering.
Bluff.
You're a con. Always were. AM? Was you who conned. Frank's voice steel. The code. The funds your prince. Wiped on mine. 15 years for your greed.
The goons advanced.
I stepped forward, stupid.
Brave.
It's over.
Voss.
Leaks out. He laughed.
Hollow.
Leaks?
Boy.
I own the pipes. To the muscle. Detain them. Quiet. Chaos erupted. Scuffle. Fists. A goon's knee to my ribs cracking like thunder. Frank fought dirty, I gouge. Knee to groin. Years in the yard paying off. I grabbed a server rack lever. Swung wild. Boss bolted. Phone out, calling cavalry? Sirens distant. Real feds? We broke free. Tumbling into the lot as rain sheeted down. Frank bleeding from lip. Me wheezing. Car now. Piled into my Civic. Peeling out as choppers thumped overhead. Voss's chopper? We ditched on El Camino. Abandoned strip mall. Hearts pounding. Plan B, Frank gasped. Wiping blood. Full dump to WikiLeaks mirror. Unredacted. And me. You're clean. I am the virus. He grinned. Feral. Go public. Tell your story. But as we split, him to a payphone, me to a bus, I saw Victoria's BMW tailing. The blade twisted deeper. That night, hold in a Motel 6 off 280. TV blared. Voss on CNBC. Denial mode. Smear campaign by disgruntled ex. We're transparent. Stock rebounding. My burner buzzed. Frank. Dump sent. But they got Elena's angle. Twist incoming. Watch news. News hit at 11. Breaking. Nexus co-founder alleges murder in AI scandal. Frank's face. Grainy mug from '04. Now live from oppressor in Oakland. Voss killed my partner, my friend, to cover his tracks. Elena knew. Now it's out. Twitter ignited. Nexus Gate trending. Memes of Voss as Thanos.
But the twist?
Voss counters. Leaked audio. Frank's voice. Oh, 3. I'll bury you if you push this. Doctored?
Real?
My stomach sank. Divide lines drawn. Frank the vengeful psycho. Or Voss the victim. I knew the truth. But proof?
Slippery.
Victoria's call came at dawn. Alex.
Come in.
We can spin this your way. Or else. Implied. The war wasn't over. It was just heating up. Motel 6 ain't no Hilton. But anonymity's got its perks. Thin walls for eavesdropping on truckers' gripes. A neon sign that flickers, vacancy, like a bad omen. I hadn't slept. Frank's presser looped on my phone. His voice gravel over the storm of flashbulbs. Justice delayed is justice denied. Poetic for a con. But the audio voice dropped? That gut punch. Frank's timbre. Clear as day. Threats. Desperation. If it held, we were cooked, me as accessory. Him as stalker. Dawn brought coffee from a vending machine, tasted like regret, and a plan scribbled on a big gulp's napkin. Find unedited Elena files. Prove the fake. Frank's drop had cords, storage unit in Sunnyvale. Key under mat. Risky, but sitting duck wasn't my style. Drove the back roads. Radio preaching Voss's innocence, Fox Business calling it witch hunt by a bitter husband. The unit was a concrete tomb. Padlocked tight. Key worked, inside. Dust-choked boxes labeled Harlan personal. Photos first. Frank and Elena. Arms linked at a Napa vineyard. Voss photobombing with champagne. Then docs, divorce filings. Her notes scrawled. Rich as lies. Frank innocent. Code audit proves. Jackpot. But deeper, a cassette tape. Labeled Confession, RV. 2004, heart slamming. I pocketed it. Hauled boxes to the car. Sirens? Paranoia. Back at the motel. Ancient boombox from the office. Crackly playback. Voss's voice. Tinny. Elena. You breathe this. You're done. Frank takes the fall. We keep the dream. Her reply. Tear-choked. Murderer.
Click.
Gold. Uploaded to my burner cloud. Emailed to Frank. Got the kill shot. Where next? His reply. Presser fallout. Feds grilled me. Voss's judge pulled strings. No warrant yet. Meet at the old garage. Menlo Park. 6 p.m. Old garage, Nexus birthplace. Ballsy. I ditched the Civic 2 blocks off. Hoofed it through alleys reeking of urine and ambition's corpse. The garage squatted unchanged, peeling paint. Ghosts of white bards. Frank waited inside. Silhouette against a bare bulb. Nursing bruises from the server brawl. You came. Relief in his rasp. Family blood. Remember? Sarcasm masked fear. Handed the tape. This buries him. He played it low. Face unreadable. Knew she recorded. Smart woman. Pocketed it. Voss is scrambling. Stocks volatile. Boards fracturing. But he's got dirt on you too. Alex. That sign off. Forged your sig. But timestamps tied to your login. My knees buckled. Victoria. Her and Rich. Tag team. You're the Patsy 2.0. Rage crusted. White hot. Then we end it. Tonight. Frank shook head. Not yet. Twist play. Leak the tape to Elena's old editor at the Merc. They owe her. Goes viral by morning. And Voss draws him out. He lit up. Zippo flaring shadows. The dock. Where it started for me. He'll come. Ego won't let him delegate.
Bait.
Controversial as hell. Enticing murder on live mic. But the tape was checkmate. We synced. I'd handle media. He'd lure the snake. Parted with a clap, solid, like comrades. Drove to a cyber cafe in Redwood. Anonymous upload to the Merc's tip line. For Elena. Sleepless wait. Scrolling X. Nexus gate splitting, half cheering Frank as Avenger. half branding him psycho. Voss, a self-made titan under siege. Comments Tor. Old white guy revenge porn. Corpo greed finally bites back. Polarized.
Raw.
Morning broke with a Merc splash. Nexus CEO's dark secret. Audio alleges cover-up in co-founder's fall. Tape transcript. Blurred but damning. Stock cratered 20%. Protests outside HQ. Activists chanting, AI apartheid. Voss's statement, deepfake. Defamation suit incoming. By noon. My burner, Victoria. Alex. You coward.
He's using you.
Come clean. Or jail.
Blocked.
Then Frank, he's coming.
Doc. 8.
Back up. Calling a podcaster indie. Anti-corpo. Live stream. Risky, unvetted. But viral potential. Evening rain slicked the roads. Wipers my only company. Parked a block from the dock. Trekked through puddles mirroring sodium lights.
The podcaster.
Lena, tattooed firebrand with a GoPro rig, waited in her van. This better be gold. Harlan. Last guy stiff me on ethics. It's plutonium. Wired her mic. Synced signal. Go live at my signal. Slip to the dock. Chain link cold under gloves. Frank paced. Coat flapping like bat wings. 8:05, headlights swept. BMW purring to halt. Voss emerged alone, tall. Coat collar up. But that stride.
Kingly.
Frankie. Echoed from the dark. Tape's a fake. Like you. Frank turned slow. Then why the meet? Scared. Rich. Voss closer. Hands pocketed, casual. But tension coiled. Pity. You were brilliant once.
Now?
Sad relic. Dragging kids into your grudge.
Me?
Bait accepted. I stepped from shadows. Phone recording. It's over.
Voss.
Feds have the logs. His head snapped, surprise. Then sneer. The intern's lapdog.
Victoria warned me.
Ambitious. But soft. Soft? The word ignited. You ruined him. Framed him for your sins. Elena too. Elena was collateral. Weak link. Dismissive shrug. Business.
Boy.
You signed the biases. Your ambition fed the beast. Lie, forgery, but stung. Frank lunged. Not violent. But grab, collar mic from his coat. Voss's own. Smile for the stream. Voss froze. Realization dawned. Lights from Lena's van. Red record. You son of a... Then twist. Voss's hand whipped out. Not gun. But syringe. Insulin?
No.
Sedative. Jabbed Frank's neck quick as viper. Frank staggered. Eyes glazing. Night-night. Partner. I charged, tackle. We hit pavement rolling. Voss stronger. Elbow to jaw cracking stars.
Fool.
He killed Elena, pushed her. Rage blacked out. I covered for him.
What?
Frank's audio threat flashed. Doubt seated. Voss pinned me. Breath hot. Believe the relic? He's the snake. Sirens wailed. Real feds? Or Voss's? Frank groaned. Rising zombie slow.
Lies.
All lies. Lena burst in. Camera rolling. Holy shit, live murder attempt. Voss bolted to BMW. Tires screeching. Frank slumped. Antidote? No, fight or flight. I dragged him to the van. Lena gunning it out. Stream hit 10K views. Chaos. Unfiltered. Hideout. Her crash pad in Oakland. Walls plastered manifestos. Frank retched. Purging the drug. He's spinning. Elena was accident. I argued. She slipped. He twisted it. Truth or his flip. The stream comments flooded. Voss hero? Intern psycho. Lines blurred. Readers picking sides like jury. My phone, anonymous text. Choose wrong. You fall too. Victoria. The divide deepened. No heroes here, just survivors clawing. Oakland's underbelly ain't poetic, graffiti-scarred walls whispering, fuck the system, while sirens harmonize like a junkie's lament. Lena's pad was a bunker, blackout curtains, servers humming in the closet. Her voice over the stream already viral at 500K. Nexus Tech's empire crumbles. Live from the front lines. Clips looped. Voss's syringe flash. Frank's slump. My desperate scramble. Comments war zone. Deep state cover-up. Old man on drugs. Clearly. Alex the White Knight or Voss's mole? Frank paced the kitchenette. Coffee black as his mood. The sedative's fog lifting slow. Tapes out, Merc verifying. But Voss. That jab was Mickey's. Not murder juice. Bought time. Lena. Laptop glowing. Spun to us. Verification pending. But audio's gold. DOJ's sniffing anonymous source dropped your server logs to them. Us. Her eyes on me. Sharp. You trust this ghost. Alex? Streams painting him unhinged. I didn't, not fully. Voss's whisper nod. He killed Elena. Frank's thread audio. Now contextualized. Tell me straight. Frank. The slip. How'd it happen? He stopped. Hands gripping sink like lifeline. Rain pattered tin roof. Argument. Napa house. Post-trial. She confronted. You framed yourself?
No.
Rich's plant. I snapped, yelled, grabbed her arm. She pulled back. Heels on tile. Down the stairs. Crack. His voice broke. First crack in armor. Called Rich. He cleaned. Pills staged. Me vanished deeper.
Protected his ass.
Not mine. Protected or complicit. Lena snorted. Tragic backstory, don't pay bills. What's the endgame? Grandpa? Ruin Voss? Or the whole valley? Both. Frank's eyes hardened. Echelon's poison, blacklist thousands. DOD deal arms at national. Leak full code. Watch the dominoes. Dominoes, jobs lost.
Sure.
But innocence too, coders like me. Families on the line. Controversial calculus. My phone buzzed. Burner dead. But personal. Mom's old number. Forwarded. Text from unknown. Harlan blood runs dirty. Dad's accident? Not pile up. Ask Frank. What the fuck?
Dad.
Fresno, grease monkey. Totaled on I-5 with mom. Break failure.
Cop said.
Distant kin my ass, Frank's wink day one. Frank. My parents. 98 Nexus launch. You there? Silence stretched. Rain crescendo.
Alex.
Shit. He sank to chair. Face crumbling. Your ma, my sister. Harlan threw her. Kept distance, protection. After my fall, Rich threatened. Family pays if you talk. The crash. Brakes tampered. Warning. World tilted. Not accident hit. For Frank's sins, my sins unborn, rage supernova. You knew. Let me grieve ghosts. Safer ignorant. Whisper. Till now. Blood calls blood. Lena whistled low. Family reunion from hell. Stream this. We win Pulitzers or feds.
No.
Private war first. Voss ends tonight. Plan hatched frantic. Lena's drone for aerial. Her stream as decoy. Exclusive. Voss surrender? Frank, and I to the garage symbolic. Full circle. Bait with a fake meet. Voss's email hacked by Frank. One last talk. Truth for tape.
He bit.
Ego venom. 10 p.m. Garage loomed, memories thick as fog. Lena parked block away. Drone humming aloft. We waited inside. Shadows our ally. Voss arrived solo. Porsche growl fading to tick. Frank, show yourself. Stepped out. Me flank. Here.
Rich.
With proof. His eyes darted, drone were faint. You brought press? Amateur. Insurance. Frank held the cassette. Elena's truth. Your cover-up. Voss laughed, but edged closer. Truth? You're the killer. I shielded you, brother in arms. Now you drag this pup into suicide.
Pup. Me.
The text about Dad, his plant? My parents.
Voss.
You? Faint, his slip. Collateral. Like Elena. Frank's war spilled. Monster confirmed. Frank lunged, not attack, but shove. Voss stumbling back into a relic server rack. Wired hot. Spark, short?
No.
Frank's prep. Rigged outlet. Voltage spike. Voss convulsed. Scream garbled. Down in heap. Jesus, I froze. Lena's voice crackled earpiece. Live. He's down electrocution? Not dead, twitching. Breath ragged. Frank knelt. Zip ties from pocket, PI tools. Not murder. Justice. Sirens real. Closing. Voss gasped. You.
Both.
Ruined. Cops burst. Oakland PD. Tipped by Lena? Voss cuffed. Ranting. They attacked. Frame job. Frank surrendered calm. Tape in hand.
Me?
Questioned. But stream cleared. Self-defense. His lunge a stumble. Station. Fluorescent hell. Coffee sludge. Feds arrived, DOJ. Suits crisp. Verified tape.
Logs.
Voss lawyered up. But cracks showed. Board fleeing. Stock in freefall. Victoria's call. Finally. Alex. It was business. Forgive.
No.
Rot.
Dawn.
Released. Charges pending review. Frank in holding. But smiling through glass. Blood won. Kid. But the divide? Ex ablaze. Vigilante justice. Entrapment. Voss innocent. Twist leaked my parentage. Crash details. Debate raged. Was Frank hero? Restoring family? Or monster? Sacrificing kin for grudge? I walked free. But chains lingered. Revenge tasted ash. Freedom's a funny bitch. Tastes like stale donuts from the precinct vending machine and the metallic tang of you're not charged.
Yet.
They cut me loose at 4 a.m. Voss in a cell ranting about billion-dollar slander. Frank separated for protective custody, pending the tape's forensic dance. The feds, stone-faced agent named Ruiz, handed me my effects. Wallet. Keys. That burner with Lena's last text. Stream at 2M views. You're famous. Harlan.
Call.
Air crisp with eucalyptus and exhaust. Hailed a lift to nowhere, driver prattling Nexus Gate like gospel. My face splashed on his dash news. Intern's revenge. Silicon shakedown. Below. The divide. Blue-check corpos decrying anarchist theater, while indie voices hailed corporate crucifixion. Dropped at a diner off San Pablo, greasy Spoon Haven. Booths scarred like my conscience. Pancakes drowned in syrup, but appetite fled. The text about Dad nod. Ask Frank. Blood confirmed. But details? Crash report on phone. Brakes failed. No foul play flagged. Tampered. How prove? Voss's whisper. Collateral. Frank's war. My orphanhood the price. Lena slid into the booth unannounced. Laptop underarm. Tattoos peeking from hoodie. Hero or Patsy? Polls say 52 to 48 split. Congrats, you're divisive. Joy. Sip sludge coffee. Stream payoffs. Patreon spiking. But Voss's PR's countering. Frank Harlan's history of violence, prison assaults. Elena's death. Dr. Dockets? And you. Ambitious climber turned traitor. Victoria's feeding it. Victoria. The Blade's architect. Where's she hold? Company jet to Tahoe. Hiding with board remnants. Lena's grin feral. Want cords? Drone recon. Temptation coiled. Legal? In America?
Nah.
Effective? Yes.
Cords pinged.
By noon, I was airborne. Lena's rig. Prop buzz over Tahoe Pines. Voss's retreat. Lakeside McMansion. Security lights winking. Victoria's BMW nestled drive. Drone cam zoomed. Her pacing deck. Phone glued. Blonde bob whipping wind.
Alone?
No. Shadow inside. Voss's lawyer. Shark in chinos. Landed rough in a clearing. Trekked mile through underbrush, thorns snagging like accusations. Fence low. I vaulted. Crouched deck shadows. Voices carried. Victoria.
Shrill.
The kid flipped, has the family angle. If Frank talks. Lawyer, he won't. Psych eval pending, unstable. Voss sues for everything. Defamation. Assault. Assault. The rig. The fall. Self-defense? Or premeditated? Doubt festered. Victoria turned, silhouette sharp. Who's there? Busted. Stepped out. Hands up.
Me.
The patsy. Her face, shocked to steel. Alex. Stupid. Guards inbound. No guards bluff. Lawyer bolted inside. Dialing.
Why?
Victoria? Groomed me to fall. Like Frank. Survival. She edged closer. Heels clicking deck. Voss's world. Eat or eaten. You were useful. Still could be. Carrot again. Withered. For what? Your Tahoe exile. Laughter bitter.
No.
Rebuild. Leak was bad. But Echelon's core? Salvageable. Join. We pivot. Reformed AI. Billions. The flip. Antagonist to ally. Her mask cracking. Frank's tape. Elena's dead because of you too. Me. Venom. He pushed her. Boss cleaned.
I.
Managed fallout. Business. Managed. Euphemism for Barry. Rage surged. I grabbed her wrist. Not violent, but firm. My parents. You knew. Eyes widened, guilt flash. Voss's call. Warning shot post-trial. I drove the truck, breaks fine after. Confession. Phone recording. Live to Lena's stream.
Say it.
For the world. She wrenched free. Nails raking. Bastard. Lunge. Chaotic. Heels slipping deck edge. Tahoe drop steep.
20 feet to rocks.
She teetered. I reached, too late. Tumble. Scream cut short by splash. Horror froze. Body. Water dark. No ripple. Lawyer burst out. Gun drawn, pepper spray. Police. Bolted woods. Branches whipping. Lungs fire.
Lift to Oakland.
Lena waiting. Holy fuck, stream caught the fall. Accident? Or push? Slip.
Truth.
Mostly. But optics? Murder too. News exploded. Nexus VP plunges in confrontation with whistleblower. Vossa spin. Harlan air assaults exec, fleeing suspect. Feds rearrested me by dusk. Ruiz grim. Tape verifies parents. But Victoria. Witnesses say struggle. Frank in interrogation next door. Separated glass. His nod through mirror. Blood's price. Night in holding. Calls from strangers support.
Hate.
X-Wars intensified. Alex Avenger. Voss Empire falls. Murder bloodline. Frank started it. Twist layered. My heritage. Victoria's end. Was I justice's hand? Or curse? Ruiz visited pre-dawn. Voss cracking, plea talks. Full confession. Frames. Elena's stage. Your folks hit.
But you?
Manslaughter angle on Vic. Frank's pushing self-defense. Your grab was save. Save or shove. Memory blurred in adrenaline fog. He tell you about Elena? Claims accident. Voss says push. Both liars.
Kid.
Jury decides. Bail hearing morning. Lena's GoFundMe. Public outcry. Released on own recognizance. Outside. Protesters, half free Harlan signs. Half justice for Victoria. Divide visceral, fists near flying. Frank out too. Psych hold lifted. Met at a talk area. Anonymity in crowds. Voss folds tomorrow, resigns. Indicts self to save scraps. And us. Ghosts. You new life. Harlan strong. His hand. Scarred. On mine. Sorry for the silence. Protected wrong. Blood-bound. But scarred. Twist hurts. Frank. Was revenge worth the bodies?
His eyes.
Steel softened. No one clean. But truth? That's the blade that cuts free. Voss's presser hit feeds. Teary. Mistakes made. Stepping down. Arrest followed. Irony. Cuffs on the king. But my trial loomed. Controversy peaked. Podcast debates. Op-eds splitting. Necessary evil versus vigilante cancer. No clear right. Gray as Tahoe depths. Trials in America aren't justice. They're theater. Lights hot. Scripts scripted. Audience picking popcorn flavors of outrage. Mine kicked off in San Jose federal court. 3 months post-Tahoe splash. The valley's vultures circling. Reporters in ill-fitting suits. Bloggers live-tweeting every yawn. Charges. Involuntary manslaughter. Victoria's death a Rorschach of accident versus assault. Voss's plea deal greased the wheels. His confession dominoed. Admitting frames. Cover-ups. Even the truck tamper as regrettable excess. He walked with time served pending appeals. House arrest in that McMansion. Spinning memoirs from his cage. Frank testified first, star witness. Or Achilles heel. Suited up. Hair combed. but the prison pallor clung like bad cologne. DA painted him saint, Mr. Harlan risked all to expose corruption, avenging not just himself, but innocents like the defendant, his nephew. Blood reveal dropped jaws, gasps from the gallery. But defense, Voss's old firm. Sharks circling, flipped. A manipulative felon, dragging family into vendetta. Elena's death? His rage. Not accident. Cross-exam was blood sport. Lawyer. You threatened Mr. Voss in '03.
Correct?
Audio evidence. Clip played, Frank's voice. Snarl. Bury you. Gallery murmured. Frank steady. Context. He was framing me live. Desperation. Not threat. And Elena?
Pressed.
You grabbed her, pushed, argued. Pulled away. Fell. Voice cracked. First fracture. Grief. Not guilt. Jury eyes glazed, doubt sown. My turn. Stand.
Swear.
Sweat under lights. DA gentle. Alex. Tell us Victoria's confrontation. Relived it raw. Deck slip. Her lunge. My reach too slow. Tried to save. She confessed the truck. My parents.
Then.
Chaos. Defense tore in. You grabbed her wrist. Witness saw aggression. Anger over betrayal. Yes, betrayed. But not murder. Voice held.
Barely.
Exhibit, stream footage. Blurred but time-stamped. My hand extended. Her heel catch. Lena's clip reel. Nexus gate montage. Public support swelling. But counter. Victoria's sister. Tearful. She feared him. Texts warning of instability. Forged. Voss's shadow. Recess. Hall buzz. Protesters chanting dual slogans. Justice for Vic. Free the Harlans. Divide like acid, family split. Op-eds warring philosophies. Revenge as reform versus. Cycle of violence poisons all. Frank cornered me, smoke break. Jury's leaning. Your blood. Our story. But twist. Voss's appeal brief leaked. Claims I rigged the garage outlet. Intent to kill. What? Gut iced. The short you set? Overload. Not lethal. But optics. His shrug weary. If they buy. Your accessory. Climax built. Closing arguments. DA thundering. A company poison lives. Harlan's cut the tumor. Victoria's fall. Tragic, but unintended in the purge. Defense venom. Vigilantes playing God. Frank's grudge killed thrice. Elena. Indirectly your parents. Now Vic. Jury out 4 days. Agony. Media frenzy. CNN panels debating. Is corporate revenge ever right? Polls. 49% acquit. 51% convict.
Me?
Numb. Hold in a safe house with Frank. Take out tie and bad TV. Verdict, hung. 11-4 acquittal. 1 holdout. Victoria's kin. Unconvinced.
Mistrial.
DA pondered retry. Public pressure mounted. Enough blood. Case dropped. Shadows lingering.
Outside.
Chaos. Hugs from supporters. Eggs from haters. Frank clapped my back. Free.
Kid.
Blood indoors. But free? Voss's memoir dropped weeks later. Betrayed by brothers. Twisting Frank's psycho. Me dupe. Sales soared. His reform TED Talk booked. Echelon gutted. But clones rose, new firms. Same sins. My life. Job offers from ethical startups. But trust fractured. Dates ghosted over drama. Frank vanished, rumor. PI gig in Boston. watching his back. The divide endured, forums raging. Heroes or hypocrites? No consensus, gray victory. Yet in quiet, I wondered, worth the cost? Bodies piled. Truths scarred. Revenges high faded to hollow. Epilogues ain't tidy. Life's a sequel nobody asked for. Frayed edges and plot holes you patch with whiskey or therapy. 6 months post-mistrial. The Valley healed skin deep. Nexus rebranded Omnicore. Voss consulting from afar. His billions a buffer against bars.
Échelon S Corps Birt Régulation AI Éthique Bill.
Bias audits, but loopholes yawned like old wounds. Frank's presser inspired copycats. Whistleblowers toppling mid-tier tech. But most crushed quiet.
Me?
Alex Harlan. Blood Avenger. Legacy mixed. Landed a gig at a non-profit. Open source AI for good. Ironic echo. Pay sucked, but sleep came easier. No sign-offs haunting dreams. Dates? One sparked. Barista named Mia. Tattoos like Lena's.
Lafkiting Fog.
Heard your story, she said first date. Brave or crazy? Both. Honesty's new skin. Frank's surface sporadic. Postcard from Maine. Grandpa interns retired. Fish bite good. No return. Blood tied. But space healed. Twist landed Christmas Eve. Package. No sender. Voss's memoir. Inscribed. To the nephew who almost won. Check page 247. Flipped. Photo insert. Oh, 3 Frank. Voss.
Ellen.
Young me toddler on Ma's hip at a picnic. Caption. Family before the fall. Note tucked. Truth subjective. Alex. I framed him for us. He was the embezzler, I the savior. Elena died saving his lie. Your parents? Break fail. Coincidence. Grieve wrong ghosts. Gaslight finale. Forgery? Or flip Frank the Snake? Rush to verifier. Ink fresh. Photo doctored. Pixels screamed fake. Voss's last jab. Muddying waters eternal. Called Frank's last number, voicemail. Kid. If this. Burn it. Lies die hard. Laughed. Torched the book and sink. Flames dancing like dock shadows. Tahoe haunted occasional. Nightmares of the splash. Victoria's eyes, fear? Defiance? Therapy unpacked. You sought justice for ghosts. Became one. Progress. Forgiveness.
Self.
Not full. But foothold. X still simmered Nexus Gate relics. Threads debating who was right. Polls eternal 50/50ths. Readers picking tribes. Arguing into void. Controversial close. No villain pure. No hero unstained. Revenge? Catharsis, lace cyanide. New Year's. Mia and I on my balcony bay glittering.
Fog lifting.
What's next? Harlan blood. Write it true. This story, you. Not triumph. Not tragedy. Just American grit. Betray. Bleed. Build from ash. Hook's echo. I handed the tire iron that night. Not for Voss. But metaphor, tools for the fight. Blood on knuckles?
Ours.
Sirens? Future's call. In the gray, we choose sides. Yours?